What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I am Eric, Mr. Cincinnati Robinson, and as always, I am joined by the podcast dad himself, Chris Hoops. Choops, my friend. Wait, what the hell is on your like?
Hey,
you were gone for 30. You were gone
it's
for
Red
30
October,
seconds.
baby. Let's go Phillies. I got the Fanatic on my head, up 1-0 in the series against the Miami Marlins. Game 2 tonight. We are going to keep it going. Let's go Phillies.
So, what is it with the Fanatics and Grizzy or Gritty? What seriously? Help me to understand.
This is the Fanatic. This is
I know.
Gritty.
I understand that. I know that they're two different things. But what is it with that city and mascots that are just generally, foreplay for the furry community? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Just better than every mascot ever. That's what you meant to say. It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Sorry, this is a family-friendly show. I apologize.
Yes, it is.
But anyway, congrats to the Phillies. At least you guys made the postseason. Go Red Legs, World Series champions 2024.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Don't get excited about that. I'm going to take this off, too, because it's very itchy.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. I had to get you, though. I had to get you, though. But go Phillies.
Mission complete.
We're going to get there.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
World Series last year, World Series this year. But here, we talk about wrestling. So let's get into some wrestling, my friend.
Yeah, we do. Let's get into it. So we've got a little bit of information for you guys. So Platinum Championship Wrestling, as you know, has turned the page coming up on October 13th in Covington, Georgia. This is their biggest show of the year. Our main event is official. This just came out on social media a couple of hours ago. I know that you have not had the opportunity to see this just yet, but I hope you're sitting down.
Let's get to work. Let's get to work.
Not one, not two, 3 opponents for our friend Bryce Cannon, the PCW World Champion. I'm pretty speechless. I gotta say, I think this is a whole new low for PCW. I mean, this is some megalomaniacal man. I can't even talk right now. Megalomaniacal management at the hands of whoever is running this outlet here, and we both consider the mat to be sacred. However, this is an injustice. This is disgusting.
It's par for the course for Bryce. The deck is obviously stacked against him again. However, if there is one man that I trust that can keep his title in a fatal 4-way match, it is our man Bryce Cannon. Bryce, we will be rooting for you, and as soon as you win that match, you're welcome right back on the show to gloat, to talk, and again, give your side of the story of what is going on there in PCW.
Yeah, but before we get there, we've announced it on our social media. We have invited all of the participants in the main event to participate in a championship summit the week before the show. Basically, you want on this stream, all 4 of these guys have to find one nice thing to say about anybody in this match. Now, we would hope that they would find something nice to say about the world champion since, they're kind of shafting him. But at this point, just say something. If you want this opportunity to explain why you should be PCW world champion, why anybody should want to spend their hard-earned dollars on you and not our champion, let us know. We're here. We're reasonable guys. I think that we've shown that with everybody from PCW that's been on the show. So, Naja, Duncan, here's your chance. Here's your chance. You know where to find us. We know where to find you. You want on next week, just let us know.
Couldn't have said it any better, my friend. This is the platform to come on and state your case. So, ball's in your court.
Yep. Tuesday Night War, dude.
Yes. This next Tuesday is going to be. Whew. Oh man, they have these two companies are big swinging right now, aren't they?
Just laying all on the table.
Yeah. Exactly. They are big guns are out.
Yeah.
AEW's Title Tuesday with the debut of Adam Copeland. And then NXT is like, oh, cool. Here's Paul Heyman. Here's John Cena. Here's Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. Oh, Asuka's going to be on there too. Oh, and you know who else will be on this show? Cody frickin' Rhodes. That is, wow. What a What a jab right back by WWE right there. I'm excited to see what else AEW announces.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot to unpack in this episode of NXT this week, and we're certainly not going to go match for match as far as what it was that we saw. The results were as always at the bottom and the ticker there, but let's start with the NXT Women's Championship. Becky Lynch, obviously retained No Mercy. There is now Lyra Valkyria, India Hartwell, and Roxanne Perez all gunning for the championship. At this point, Lyra has earned the opportunity to face Becky Lynch at Halloween Havoc. I don't know if this is just me, and I kind of want to just start this episode by looking at it this way. Do you think that because there is this new era where one of WWE's biggest superstars ever has now jumped ship to AEW, and we heard Tony Khan call this a new era that's coming in, at least on the AEW end. Mm-hmm. Do we feel that WWE is now finally stepping up and saying, okay, here's what we need to do now to combat that star power, even though we're not necessarily going to be on the same nights all the time, but very clearly, here's one of them?
No, I think what they're trying to do is make NXT feel like a legitimate third brand. For a long time, NXT was quote unquote developmental, and it still is that way. But I think the NXT 2.0 stink was just so bad that now they're going, okay, let's mix in some main roster talent. Let's get people watching NXT again and get them mixed up with some main roster talent like a Becky Lynch, a Dominic Mysterio, when the New Day came down, when Dolph came down. Like, let's start making these guys feel like a bigger deal. So when they debut, because we've seen it in the past, when NXT talents debut, that's not always gone well, right? So if now they're mixing it up with that talent, people already know who a Blair Davenport is. People already know who Lyra Valkyria is, Roxanne Perez. People already know Gallus because, those were the guys that wrestled the New Day, or those are the women that wrestled Becky Lynch. I think that's going to make it that much better when those talents eventually come up to the quote-unquote main roster, but they're really trying to make this feel like a legitimate third brand that people really care about again.
Yeah, I think this is the best that they have done with this particular episode because, yes, we knew about Copeland having his first match on that Dynamite. That's smart of Tony to announce it at the presser. That's just a shot across the bow. I think everybody could see it that way. Mm-hmm. And then for WWE to just, be like, okay, here we're just going to, everybody that we can add into that show that we will. So, the fact that Cody and John Cena are coming to NXT for the first time ever, that reminds me a lot of, remember when Main Event first debuted?
Yeah.
I don't know if you do, but
yep.
John Cena was on the very first one. Mm-hmm. Never saw him again after that, and we know how Main Event is treated in the broader landscape of WWE programming. But this is different. This is a very rabid fan base. You can't help but wonder, like, how insane that crowd is going to be because it is such a small environment, and how many people are going to want to try to get in to this taping this upcoming week. It's just, it's a lot of star power. It's a lot of star power. And, while I think it's fair to say that you and I both agree, if you're a wrestling fan, you win on Tuesday night. You just do. There's going to be a lot to enjoy about both shows, and I'm probably going to do one on big screen, one on the iPad. Like that. I think that's the only way that you can do it here.
Which one's which?
Doesn't matter yet.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Which one's which?
I don't have the answer to that yet.
Okay, as of right now, which one is which?
You're not my supervisor.
Yeah. Which one is which?
I don't know. I don't have to answer that question yet. I'm not going to answer that question yet.
It's fine. I'll remember on Monday, and I'll ask you.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll still ask. I'll put it in the notes right now.
I'd imagine. Don't you still have baby brain? You're a parent.
I always have baby brain, but that doesn't matter.
All right, we'll see. Okay.
We will. We got a big weekend too, so don't worry. Okay.
What's that?
We got a big weekend too, so don't worry. We do.
It's, Fastlane's shaping up, man. It's shaping up.
They've announced a few more matches, and we'll kind of transition over to that. We'll address the Tuesday Night War when we get a little bit closer. But yeah, Fastlane's shaping up. We got a couple more matches announced Monday. So apologize for not being on Tuesday. Just had some scheduling conflicts. Is what it is. Thank you guys for sticking with us. It'll happen. We have other things going on too, guys. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. I know you missed.
And on the bread side, And on the bread side, that did give me a little bit of time to make sure that all of our archives on Spotify are up to date. So if this is something you like to listen to in your car on the way to work or the gym, what have you, everything, we are up until Monday's episode. Have fun. I know that there are a couple of people that have reached out to need those audio versions and don't always get to watch when we're out live on YouTube. So we appreciate you guys wanting to be receptive and give us feedback about how you consume our show. So all the archives are up to date, but as far as back to the NXT's women's division and what we have now.
So I'd have to say she loses it before the Rumble. So I don't know what NXT's next PLE is or when it is. It's Deadline, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I could see her losing it there in an Iron Survivor match.
Okay, that's for the title instead of a championship opportunity this time.
Yeah, because that's a way to get it off of her without having her lose directly.
Fair. And, I mean, you have to think that Valkyria, Perez, Indy, Stratton will continue to have cases to be contenders for the rest of the year.
Yep. Maybe a Tegan Knox. Maybe that turns into something, although I think she's going to be in a team with Natty sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Okay. Build your tag division, I guess. Blah, 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 blah. But, that seems to be that direction. Maybe the breakout tournament winner will also be slotted into that role.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
So that could be, I still think Lola Vice wins that. So that's another heel into that mix.
I'm going to go Kalani Jordan.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, she needs
claim it now.
Yeah, that would be a good one. I would agree with that. And again, another heel to kind of throw in there. But yeah, I don't know how long Becky holds it. I don't know if I think this was just a test to see, okay, how good is Tiffany? What do we have here in Tiffany Stratton? And is she going to
everything?
Yes, I agree. And I think she passed it with flying colors. And who better to send down there than one of the most over women you have on the roster and see, hey, can I get a good match out of her? And then have her go back and report like, yeah, we're good. We're good to go. Yeah. And I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's clear that when Becky is on NXT, that does translate to ratings. And, while we're not necessarily focusing on those numbers, we care about the content of the programming. I mean, this is a big deal. Like it's the women's division was feeling a tad stale because as much as I am a huge fan of Roxanne Perez, it just seems like she is always orbiting around the title. Indy coming back to try to win back the title that she never lost, that she had to relinquish. Great story in there too. Would I rather her be on Raw with Candice LeRae and doing something to, again, build an actual tag team for that tag team division if they're not going to,
do anything with it? Sorry. But, your tag champions keep losing.
It's a little sensitive when it comes to the women's division.
Your tag team champions keep losing. Make them look good, and then you'd have a division. That's it. It's not that hard.
Chelsea can't do all the work.
She's trying. I mean, she has put more effort in those titles than the company has. Period.
Yeah.
And it's embarrassing.
Matt Cardona and Steph DeLander have put more effort in those titles than the company has. Yeah. And they don't even work there.
It's embarrassing. I mean, if you're going to have the titles, make them mean something. That should be Triple H's next pet project. You did the IC title. That's the next pet project.
Yeah, I think, and there was I think it was a What Culture video, and it was essentially pitches that they have for Jade Cargill as far as her debut, and it's seeming like, and this is not confirmed, but it's likely that she is going to be in Indy at Fastlane this weekend. An idea that they had for her is to come in,
please,
beat the women's tag team champions, and then unify those belts into one mid-card title. WWE gets another velvet blanket to pull off of a championship belt, and we're done for another day.
Yeah. I don't know about that one, but yeah, that'd be a fun idea. I don't know if I want to see Jade go back into a mid-card title role. How the last one went wasn't as great as I think everybody thought it would be, and I think people are ready to see her move up to that upper echelon. Like, what's the mid-card title in the women's division look like? Like, who's the contenders?
If I just got to throw some out, and I know the response that I would get by throwing out these names, so I'm just going to do it anyway. But let's see if you're on the wavelength of it. Tegan, Candice, Indy. Somehow I didn't see the side effect, the sound effect coming. Actually, that can I finish? Can I finish?
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, I'm done. So,
Nia Jax. You forgot Nia Jax.
I don't know what the hell they're doing with her.
Neither do they.
She'll likely. I mean, do you think that we're going to get a tag team match or something between those four this Sunday, or a fatal four, one of the two? That we just.
I don't think we're getting anything. It doesn't look like we're getting anything.
Yeah, it has been a super underwhelming debut of the Women's World Championship. It's a gorgeous belt, and they've got a phenomenal champion.
Mm-hmm.
But this has been
crap.
Underwhelming.
It's been crap.
It's been underwhelming.
She cut a great promo on Monday night too. I was very happy with that promo.
I think Mommy has just kind of decided, you know what, I'm in charge now. This is just and if that wasn't clear to everybody before now, so it's. I mean, I like it. I like the idea of, her she's gone for a couple of weeks and all hell breaks loose. And it's like, okay, I've got to bring this all back together. And speaking of which, I think this is a perfect time to move on to the next kind of big part of NXT last night is Dominic Mysterio regained the NXT North American Championship for Trick Williams. Transitional champion just benefits from that other than Judgment Day. Because I don't necessarily see Trick benefiting from that just yet.
I think it's telling a story. So stay with me. I think this is the deeper story they're telling with this.
Okay.
Who is with Dominic Mysterio?
Mommy.
And?
Finn and Damien did show up, yeah.
And JD.
Oh, yeah. So
they were all there for Dominic. Who wasn't there for Trick?
I'm not ready for that one yet either. Like, that one's going to cut like Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I know Mello was not there. I know, I get it. Deductive reasoning. Thanks, bud. I did go to law school. But I just...
So I think it helps. It helps that storyline of, hey, I was there every time. I was there every time you defended the NXT champion. And guess what? You retained the NXT champion. I wasn't there for Ilya and you lost. You weren't there for me after all those times I was there for you, and I lost. Dude, Trick's, he's got a bone to pick, and I think we might get it next week on Super Tuesday.
Yeah. Do you think that he lays hands on the man that can't be seen?
Oh no, I don't think it goes that far. I think Cena's just on the outside looking, shocked and what's happening, that kind of crap that he does.
Okay. All right.
If they really wanted to boost ratings on NXT, you know who they'd put on there for a night?
Roman?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That'd be true. Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah.
You put him on there, like advertise him, people would watch that.
It's a lot that can happen between now and next Tuesday. And I mean, even the Cody announcement was made over social media. That wasn't even necessarily anything that was, pre-recorded or put together. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, this is another one of those things. It's just another one of those reminders, at least to me, and I'm sure that you'll agree, of how awesome wrestling can be when there is competition.
Mm-hmm.
They knew, hey, we're going to be on the same night. They've already announced Copeland's going to make his AEW in-ring debut. That's great, but we need to do better as well if we want to, keep up with what they have planned. And I think based on what they have announced, they're certainly doing a lot to make that happen. I think that AEW will rely more on surprises. I mean, there will be a couple of things that they announced, but I think that they'll rely more on surprise effects more so than NXT will. It's just here's what we're going to announce, and that's that.
You said it earlier. We as wrestling fans win. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Tuesday night's going to be great. We win. Okay, I'm happy with it. We won, and I'm not going to complain about either show until I see it, and I'm not going to complain about having to have two screens on two different wrestling shows. We are right now, and it's not going to stay this way, but it's like the old days, like the Monday Night Wars. But this time I can have the ability to watch it on two screens and not switch back and forth. So I think it'll be really, really exciting. You know what else was really, really exciting that we didn't get to talk about?
What's that?
Johnny Gargano's back.
Sorry. He's been found. I apologize. I had to get that out there. But yeah, DIY's back, baby.
Yeah.
Love it.
I mean, that's a great team to throw into that tag division. Someone I could easily see taking the titles off Judgment Day and making those titles, like unifying those titles, making it feel like a big deal again. And I'm happy because, man, Gunther and Ciampa had a great match on Monday Night Raw, and now you get Gargano and Ciampa back together. It's almost like that Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn thing. Like, when is it's probably going to be Ciampa because it usually is. When's Ciampa going to turn on him again? And there's another great feud. Like, it's a win-win, I think, for us fans. But I'm so happy to see Johnny Gargano back, even with his terrible theme song now. But I'm so happy to see Johnny back.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, sky's the limit for these two. I mean, these are very much Triple H guys. And now that, the merger's complete and, there's I think, a bit more oversight to where things that we want to see happen are just going to start happening. I mean, I think this is the perfect time to debut them. This is another team for Imperium to mix it up with because if as much as I love Imperium, as much as I love Alpha Academy, if I have to watch them go at it one more time, I'm probably going to lose it. It's just
you'll probably see it next Monday, so don't hold your breath.
I would have really wanted to see that Intercontinental Championship match at Fastlane, though, but we can't have everything.
Nope. We get John Cena and LA Knight in a team. I'm okay with that.
As far as we've talked about North American Championship, we talked about NXT Women's Championship. Ilya Dragunov is our new NXT champion, and brief stumble on the ropes aside, I mean he's ready to take on all comers. He's a machine. And Braun in this group of we know they'll be back in the title picture. Who else realistically, especially as we're looking towards the deadline, potential Iron Survivor? Do you have any guys in mind that you would want to see eventually challenge the Russian Madman for the strap?
Well, I mean, from what they did and teased last night, looks like Baron Corbin's going to get a shot.
I mean, that's fine. It really is okay. I mean, this is the role that he is. This is where he's supposed to be in NXT. Nothing else was working for him. Do you want him in that crowded North American Championship title scene or what?
Sure. What a whimper for your first title defense against Baron Corbin. Come on.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it a whimper. It's more of I'm getting Goliath out of the way.
No, the Goliath is Dijak that should be in the Iron Survivor match.
Okay, so we'll say Dijak as one. And you might give me some looks about this, and quite frankly, I don't care. Brian Pillman Jr. in Iron Survivor. I want to see that just because we're seeing more and more of these promos each week, and they're getting longer as far as what it is that we're seeing. We're seeing the Bengals highlights. Yes. We're seeing the WCW Saturday Night highlights. Yes. But then look at the list of second and third generation superstars that also came after that list. If that's what they're trying to convey to us is that we should look at him as a potential prodigy, this might be the right environment to do it. Even if he doesn't come away with the win here, he can still make a statement in a match like this, and it would give him some wings, basically. And this is something that he needs coming off of kind of that last several W run. Just it was just a whimper.
Yeah, I think that might be too much too soon. I think you probably want to establish him a little bit more. I don't hate the idea, but I just it seems like they do want to make him a big deal. There's one name that I think you left off that hasn't been in NXT for a couple weeks.
Dragon Lee?
No, Wesley.
Oh yeah.
I think he would be.
Oh yeah, I think that he will. I think it's in last year's too. Yeah. So I mean, I don't mind him running it back. It's I don't know. I feel like because we have been so preconditioned to look at NXT as a third brand that feeds the main roster, that I'm thinking to myself whenever I hear about certain people that we know are ready for the main roster, being in these types of matches and kind of wondering, okay, well, who else could have gotten that spot? Maybe it is just time to abandon that thinking of just like, hey, this is a third brand that is equal parts developmental, and then they know how to make it a super show when they want Raw and SmackDown superstars on it. I don't know.
And I think that's what they're trying to do. I think that's why we haven't seen a ton of the call-ups right now. I think that is probably a little bit later down the road, like towards after WrestleMania season. I think that's when we'll probably get a few more of those call-ups. But I do agree with you saying we're going to make this our third brand. We're going to establish that as a third brand. Like, people can come down here and I'm trying to make it legit, like legitimize. That's the word I'm looking for. Thanks, lawyer. You just watched me suffer through that, and I hate you. But like, make this place.
I'm not my brother's keeper.
Make this place feel like a big deal, and they're having the PLEs outside of the Capitol Center. So they are doing that at least. Yeah. And I mean, that NXT feels like a great third show to watch. SmackDown feels like the great second show to watch. Raw feels like the great first show to watch. AEW's having trouble with that. With Dynamite is a great show to watch. Collision, I think it'll get there now that it's Daniel Bryan's show.
And it'll be rated R too.
Yes, I think it'll get there, but then there's the Rampage, and I think that's NXT's competition is Rampage, and they're knocking that out of the water. If AEW goes and makes Rampage, Ring of Honor, or some kind of developmental brand, I think then, yes, they'd be a little bit more on even par.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be excited right now about when it comes to NXT. Tuesday's just going to be awesome. I mean, I think that this just deserved that deep dive. And real quick, I know that we're coming close on time. We know AEW's major announcement. What else would you want to see on that show, knowing what we know about what NXT is going to do next week?
Yeah. So I was looking on X, Twitter, whatever you guys want to call it, and they announced, if I can get it pulled up, 4 hours ago. So neither of us saw this. Next week on Title Tuesday, Saraya will defend against Hikaru Shida.
Okay.
So that is another one that they have announced for next week. So good.
Big deal.
They put
especially since she wasn't on Wrestle Dream.
Yes, and they put a legitimately good women's match on a big show. Thank you.
See that? Do more of that if you wouldn't mind.
Please do more of that.
I didn't think we still had to ask for that in 2023, but here we are.
And other than that, we'll see what they announce. Tonight is the 4th anniversary of Dynamite, so I assume they're going to have a couple big things tonight. I think the only thing that we have is Rey Fenix versus Nick Jackson, and then we have
that'd be great.
Juice Robinson and the Guns coming out and addressing what happened last week to Jay White. And then
that'll be fun. Yeah, that's a nice little. There's another puzzle right there, kind of mystery that we got going on.
And I think we hear from Edge tonight.
Yeah, I would really hope that once, and he's not Edge anymore. His name's Adam Copeland.
Adam Copeland, sorry.
I am hoping
They put him in
I'm
here
hoping-
as the Rated R Superstar Edge or the Rated R Superstar Adam Copeland at Edge Rated R. So I'm confused.
Well, yeah, that's still his X handle. Yeah, so he's still got that. I'm sure that's a thing that will eventually be changed. But I'm really, really hoping that because he's making his Dynamite debut to address the crowd, that there is a face-off specifically for the benefit of those with flash photography.
It's not time yet.
Yes, it is.
Nope.
All we need is a face-off. That's it. All we need is a face-off, just like in that movie Face-Off.
Yeah, and then they both do the turn real quick. That would be fantastic.
Or do it like Rock and Hogan style,
Well, we don't say that name on this podcast.
I did that once. It's okay.
I think that's the first time we've ever
won't
said
make it a habit. Yeah.
A new record for what episode are we on?
44.
Man, we made it 44 episodes without saying Hulk Hogan. Good for us. Good for us.
All right. I guess it's been...
Yeah, put it on the board. 0 days.
0.
Thanks to you. 0 days since a Hulk Hogan mention. Great. Put the record on there. 44.
0 days. I can't tell. I'm blocking the camera. It's there.
I believe you.
I'll put that on socials. It's whatever. It's fine. Any final thoughts, podcast Ed?
Nope. Another exciting week of wrestling. Again, we are going to Fastlane Saturday. Excited for that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wrestling,
Yeah.
and go Phillies.
Just enjoy it. I mean, we are living in one. I mean, the amount of professional wrestling that is accessible at our fingertips, online, by your phone, laptop, apps. Like, there's no reason to not enjoy what's going on right now. We may give PCW a lot of grief, but that's because they're giving our best friend a lot of grief. Justice for Bryce. But anyway, there's a lot to enjoy about it. So just smile and enjoy the fact that we are getting to bask in this moment.
Smile.
So, yeah, that's it. Podcast that. It's always good to see you, man.
Go Phillies, go Phillies, go Phillies.
Okay, yeah. For the podcast, Adam, Mr. Cincinnati, this has been the Wrestling Junkies podcast. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you guys soon.